Well, hello. We are up to guitar number 42. And it is, as you've seen, ammoon kind of like a Strat. Now this guitar I found on Amazon when I was having a little bit of trouble finding guitars. And I decided to buy it, even though they had blocked out the ammoon and they were selling it as some other name, Just Pins or something. And I knew it was ammoon because they forgot to block this out, the ammoon part, when they showed the back. And it showed that the jack was coming out the bottom on a Strat style body. And I thought, alright, let me give it a shot. Well, out of all the guitars I've bought, I think this one is the one that surprised me the most. Let me straighten you up a little bit. Because it was so much better than I thought it was going to be. But after having had a couple of the blue ammoons, like the Junior, and I can't remember what the Telly, I was hoping for the best, and I got better than I hoped for, because the body came, and you know it's black, right? And black is really, really hard. Well, I see I've got a little bit of a scuff there on the back now with dirt, and I've been touching it a lot over the last couple of days since I've taken it out of the bag, and I'm really surprised. I was really surprised with it. I did have to replace the nut, of course, and I took the opportunity to put this brass one in there. I also put Wilkinson tuners on it, but I kind of expected that. And they're not locking. They were just at the time I had these Wilkinsons in stock, and they're a good gear ratio. They're high enough that they're taut. And what was really surprising is that I didn't have to change the pickups. This blew my mind. This bridge is 14.7K. I have my circuit here. And the two pickups in singles are both 5Ks. And I was thinking, when I first measured that 5K, I'm going, man, that's probably going to suck. And they don't. I was able to set up the bridge, keep the wiggle arm on it, but I did go for changing the electrics, where I wired two volumes, this one for the bridge, this one for the two singles. And the tone, I changed the capacitor to a 33. And I put in, of course, a good 5-way switch with wafers. And both volumes have my traditional bleed circuit, 0.001 microfarad with a 100K in series across the tone pot outputs. Yes, I didn't really have to do a lot of work on the body. As I recall, it was in pretty nice shape. And the neck has some little bit of some bird's eye in there. It's really satin and smooth. I don't even think I had to do any sanding on this neck. I can't remember. I'd have to go back and see my videos, but the neck on this feels really good. I like the really flat radius. It's flat, kind of like a Les Paul, and it's got a really, slim C on the back of it. It fits really nice. And that's about all I can tell you. It comes in at exactly 7.8 pounds, just like most of my Les Pauls that are either 7.8 or 8. So the weight of it was also quite surprising. I lifted it and I'm going, wow, that's pretty heavy. And I don't know what the body is, but it's got to be something that's either a very dense basswood or it's an alder or something. I don't know. It's probably not a mahogany. But yes, I'm extremely happy with how this one turned out. Ammoon, kind of like a Strat. Oh yeah, and I put the roller string trees up there. Not the minis, but these rollers, because I had them at the time. And those work pretty good too, you know, because those little tips on these things, they rotate. So when the string goes underneath, there's a small contact point, and if it needs to, it can roll with it. So you don't get any binding in there. I took it out of the bag and I checked it out, and I did a minor little setup on it. It's been a while since I've had it out and did anything with it. I did the truss rod. I gave it a little bit of an adjustment so I could get it underbowed a little bit because I was getting a tiny little bit of buzzing in here. And then I decided, okay, I'm going to adjust the saddles a tiny little bit as well, just to get it, you know, after it's been sitting for quite a while down here in the basement. Yeah, that's it. I didn't even clean it until just now. You saw me do it. So, I hope it's still in tune. Give me a sec. And it is. It's amazing that this thing stays in tune as well as it does, even with the trem operational. See, we get some sound out of this thing. Alright, the amp is on. My standard 65 Deluxe as usual, with just the reverb and the delay at 2.5. Gain is set at 5, full volume. Treble is a 3, middle is a 3, there's no bass, and that's all there is. That's the way I run my basic amp. That's my basic, right? And this pickup at a 14.7 was really surprising for output and how good it sounds. Really? Yeah. Ha. Middle. See? 5K. So that was really surprising. Now these two together, when they're in parallel, so kind of humbucker mode, that combination goes down to like 2.5, right? And listen, it barely drops. I couldn't believe it. I still can't believe it. And they sound good. Okay, the bridge in the middle. Let me get you down a little bit. So the bridge with the middle one. Now here's where I can do some blending because I've got two different volume controls, but they're both up right now. So the middle kind of warms that up a little bit. You can vary it to get the tone you want. So even with this volume all the way down, because it's still in the circuit, you're still getting a tiny little bit of it. And when you take it off completely, see, the bridge goes a little bit higher in pitch. So you've got lots of variation with this kind of a combination, right? Better than one volume and two tones. One tone and two volumes is okay, man. So the 33 acts as usual. And again, it's rarely used. But because it's there, it is adding a tiny little bit of roll off in the circuit. And even with that, the bridge is still pretty bright. And that's probably because of the bleed circuit. So with the bleed circuit, this sounds great. And before we get too long, I'm just going to play you a little something. I'm going to turn on my M-Vol fuzz that I've set up with my preferred, and I'm going to play a little bit of stuff for you with this backing track. stuff. And I can say that yes, this turned out to be a great project, and I'm very happy with it. So this is the ammoon, kind of like a STRAT, and it's nice that it's slightly different, and it's pretty cool. Yeah. And it says it's passed QC. I never took that off. So now it's passed my QC. Thanks for all your support. Catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching.